Good day everybody. In this lecture I will be discussing about the differential amplifiers. A differential amplifier amplifies a difference of two input signals and the amplified version is given as the output. It is a very important block of operational amplifiers. The operational amplifiers are very widely used as important building blocks in electronic circuits, and the differential amplifier is an important part of an operational amplifier. So basically a differential amplifier has two inputs and it can have two outputs, out of which you may use one of them in practice. So the differential inputs, if you call this signal as Vi1 and this one as Vi2, so Vi1 is with respect to the ground. So if Vi1 is applied to input 1 and Vi2 is applied to the other input with respect to the ground, then you have two different signals that can be applied to a differential amplifier. And what the differential amplifier does is, in general, it gives an output which is an amplified version of Vi1 minus Vi2. That means this amplifier takes the difference between the signal applied to terminal 1 and the signal applied to terminal 2 and gives you an amplified version of the output at the output terminal. At the other output terminal, you get the opposite of this. If this is VO1 and if you denote this as VO2, then VO2 is AD times Vi2 minus Vi1. That means at this output you will get the opposite of this, an amplified version of Vi1 minus Vi2 with an opposite sign. And here you will get the amplified version of Vi1 minus Vi2. Since the amplifier amplifies the difference signal, it is known as a difference amplifier or differential amplifier, where in this circuit AD is the differential gain, the gain for the difference signal. A differential amplifier can be used as a single-ended system or a double-ended system. That means you can ground one of the terminals and apply an input to one of the terminals. Say to terminal 1 we apply the signal and then we connect terminal 2 to the ground. Then the voltage at terminal 2 is 0 and the difference signal is naturally Vi1 minus 0 equal to Vi1. And the output signal is amplified version of Vi1 itself, because the difference itself is equal to Vi1 when Vi2 is 0 or grounded. Therefore, output is an amplified version of Vi1 itself. Therefore, this is known as a single-ended operation. This is known as single-ended operation, where you apply only one signal and the other one is grounded, the other terminal is grounded. In the double-ended operation, on the other hand, you apply Vi1 and Vi2 both, and the difference of these two is amplified and given as the output. So, that is known as double ended operation. Hence, the operation can be single ended and double ended. So, depending on the application, we may use a differential amplifier as a single ended amplifier or a double ended amplifier. Now, when Vi1 is equal to Vi2, then the difference signal is 0, and when the difference signal is 0, the output signal should be naturally 0. So, that is what is desirable. So, a differential amplifier should only amplify the difference signal. On the other hand, the practical circuits amplifies the common mode signal also. I will explain what a common mode signal is. Suppose you give a 1 volt signal here and you also give 1 volt signal here in same phase, with same phase, then the difference signal is 0 and output should be 0. You apply 10 volts here and 10 volts here, still the difference signal is 0, output should be 0. But in practice, the differential amplifier circuits exhibit some amount of amplification for the common mode signal also. The common mode signal is defined as the average of both the inputs. If this is 1 volt and this is 1 volt, the common mode signal is 1 volt, and if this is 10 and this is 10, the common mode signal is 10 volts. So, naturally, we want a differential amplifier to reject the common mode signal completely and only amplify the difference signal. But the common mode rejection is not very high, but some amount of common mode signal present in the output. So, before going into the details, so let me therefore define the common mode signal as the average of both the inputs. So, the common mode signal Vc is equal to Vi1 plus Vi2 by 2. The difference signal, on the other hand, is Vi1 minus Vi2. This is the difference signal. If one input is plus 1 and the other input is minus 1, the difference signal is 2 volts, whereas the common mode signal is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0 by 2 is equal to 0. Hence, you can take measurements, given a difference amplifier, you can take measurements to find out how much is the common mode gain and how much is the differential gain. Now, when you apply this kind of an input, that when Vi1 is equal to minus Vi2, you see that the common mode signal is, when Vi1 is equal to minus Vi2, the common mode signal is 0 and the differential signal is equal to Vi1, which is equal to 2 Vi2 also. Now, when so Vi1 is equal to Vi2, you have the common mode signal equal to, so Vi1 itself, Vi1 or which is equal to Vi2 itself, and the differential signal is 0. So, one can apply a common mode signal or a differential signal to a difference amplifier, and one can measure how much is the common mode gain and how much is the differential gain, because in this case the common mode signal is 0. Therefore, even if the common mode gain is not 0, since the signal is 0, common mode signal is 0, there is no common mode output. Whereas in this particular case, when Vi1 is equal to Vi2, the differential signal itself is 0. So, irrespective of the differential gain, the difference signal is 0, whereas what you get is only out of the common mode signal. Hence, by this input, this kind of experiment, or by this kind of experiment, one can go for the measurement of the common mode and differential mode gains. So, common mode gain is defined as the gain for a common mode signal. When the differential signal is 0, naturally in the output you will not have any differential signal amplified, because the differential signal itself is absent. But the common mode signal is present. So, whatever output you get is a common mode as a result of common mode signal itself, and the output divided by the input common mode signal is known as is defined as the common mode gain. AC is equal to V naught by Vc, where V naught is the output and Vc is the common mode signal when the differential signal is 0, because when the differential signal is 0, the output has only the common mode signal. So, output divided by the input common mode signal is equal to the common mode gain.
Sir, do we get this common mode signal on both the outputs?
Yes, you will get common mode signal on both the outputs.
And when Vd is not equal to 0, the both will be appearing, means amplification 0.
Yes, certainly. So, the question is, when you use both the outputs of a differential amplifier, so do the common mode signal and the differential signals appear at both the outputs? Yes. So, these two signals appear at both the outputs. Under common mode signal, you will have a common mode signal present in phase at both the outputs, and the differential signal appears out of phase at both the outputs. So, in general, when you have some signal Vi1 at one input and some signal Vi2 at the other output, you have a common mode signal present and a differential mode signal present, and the output is amplified, the sum of the amplified versions of both. In the present example, here where Vi1 is the input at terminal 1 and Vi2 is the input at terminal 2, the common mode signal is Vi1 plus Vi2 by 2 and the differential signal is Vi1 minus Vi2. Now, since common mode signal and differential mode signal both are present, so you will have a common mode component VOC, which is equal to AC into the Vc, the common mode part of the signal, and you will get a differential component which is equal to the differential signal, differential gain multiplied by the differential signal. So, Vc and Vd are these Vi1 plus Vi2 by 2 and Vi1 minus Vi2. Now, in a differential amplifier, ideally we desire AC to be 0, the common mode gain to be 0. But in practice this is not 0, but this is some small quantity delta. And how do you judge a differential amplifier? We judge a differential amplifier by the ratio of the common mode gain, the ratio of the differential gain and the common mode gain. So that ratio is known as common mode rejection ratio, CMRR, which is given by the differential gain divided by the common mode gain. Ideally, the common mode rejection ratio should be equal to infinity, ideally. In practical circuits, it is of the order of a few tens of thousands. It is of the order of a few tens of thousands. Common mode rejection ratio is. Are there any questions on what is a differential amplifier, what is a common mode signal, what is a difference signal, and what is differential gain, what is common mode gain, and what is the common mode rejection ratio? Any questions?
So can you give an example of its application?
There is a question regarding the application of a differential amplifier. All operational amplifiers use a difference amplifier as the input stage, and in bridge circuits where you want the output, the difference between two corners of a bridge to be applied in a circuit or to be applied to an indicator. So there both the inputs, for example in a bridge circuit like this, to determine the null between these two, so we tap both the outputs and we amplify it using a difference amplifier, and if this amplifier amplifies even if there is a small amount of difference, so this amplifier amplifies that difference and gives you a substantial output. Now this can be given to an indicator where the indicator indicates what is the amount of difference signal is, with amplification of course.
But here the amplifier may amplify the common mode voltage.
So common mode voltage also is amplified, but if the difference amplifier has a very high common mode rejection ratio and the common mode signal itself is low, then the output has a strong common mode component and a very low differential component. The output is equal to the differential gain multiplied by the differential signal plus the common mode gain multiplied by the common mode signal. So in a practical differential amplifier, you have common mode as well as difference mode signals present, and the output is the AD multiplied by the differential signal plus AC multiplied by the common mode signal. And when VC and VD are of the same order, and if AC is much smaller than AD, this is naturally approximately equivalent to or almost equal to AD into VD itself. Therefore, the output is proportional to the common mode, the differential mode signal itself. And please note that the AD to AC ratio in practice is of the order of a few tens of thousands. Hence, this is negligibly small. The common mode component of the output is negligibly small.
So, if we get a, say, a common mode signal which is amplified, is it possible by any other means to filter out this amplified signal?
So, the question there is, how do we reject the common mode signal? In the circuit, the differential amplifier circuit itself, we design the circuit such that for the common mode amplifier, for the common mode signal, the gain is negligibly small. And unless the common mode signal has a different form, you will not be able to distinguish it from the different signal. Unless they are of different frequencies, you will not be able to filter out one from the other.
So can we use the phase difference as a criteria for filtering? Because for the different signals there will be a phase difference of 180.
Unless the input signal itself, in the input signal itself, it is clear to you that this is the common mode signal and this is the differential signal, there is no way you can subtract it and nullify it.
So if we cascade a series of such difference amplifiers, then the common mode component will get reduced because of AC being much smaller than AD. In that case, will we ultimately get the difference signal amplified?
Yeah, your classmate has a question there. The question is, when you cascade such stages, several such stages, and make an overall difference amplifier, if you treat this as a single difference amplifier, naturally, if the loading is negligible here, the overall common mode gain is going to be equal to this AC1 into AC2, the product of the gains of these two amplifiers. And the differential mode gain is going to be equal to the product of the differential mode gains. And if each stage has a common mode rejection ratio equal to rho, the overall common mode rejection ratio is going to be rho squared. Therefore, if the common mode rejection ratio is 10 to the power 4, you will get now a common mode rejection ratio of 10 to the power of 8. Certainly by cascading, you can reduce the common mode component and you can increase the common mode rejection ratio. Any other question? Now, having defined these the qualities of a differential amplifier, let us now see what kind of circuits can be used to implement the differential amplifier. It is interesting to see that a simple 2 transistor circuit can be used as a differential amplifier. Now here is the circuit for differential amplifier, a primary circuit for differential amplifier. So use a pair of transistors with same characteristics, preferably and connect the emitters together and have a common emitter resistance and apply a negative potential to this point, whereas through respective collector resistances connected to the supply VCC, and apply the input here, one input here, apply the second input here, VO2, and you take either this collector from this collector or this collector as the output. So let us for the time being use this collector as the output terminal. Now we apply input signals, input alternating signals over here, and over here. In the absence of an alternating signal, the base is connected to the ground and the emitters are connected to a negative supply through RE, and the collector is connected to a positive supply through RC. So, the circuit is biased by grounding the base and connecting a positive supply through RC to the collector and a negative supply through RE to the emitter. Now, before going into the operation of differential amplification, let us see how the biasing is provided here. So, in the absence of alternating signals, so VO1 and VO2 are grounded. So, that means what is the potential of this point E? This is 0 and this is minus VEE and this is RE, and assuming that these two transistors are identical, you have an emitter current, same current flowing through both the emitters and collectors, because the circuit is same for both the transistors. Now, when the base is grounded, when both the bases are grounded, please note that the base emitter junction is forward biased through RE and this negative supply, and the collector base junction is reverse biased through this positive supply. Hence, we find the transistor either in either the active region or in the saturation region. With sufficiently low RC, it can be seen that the transistors are in the active region. Now, when the transistor is conducting, the base to emitter potential is of the order of 0.7 volts in the case of silicon transistors. So, let me call it as VBE, and if IE flows through this and IE flows through this, what is the current flowing through RE? It is naturally 2IE. Or if the current flowing through RE is called as IE, then this current is IE by 2 and this is also IE by 2. Now, with this kind of biasing arrangement, how much of IE flows? IE into, rather 2IE in this example, 2IE into RE is equal to how much? And this is grounded, this is VBE, and this is between this and the ground, it is minus VEE. So, therefore, with respect to the base, this is at minus VBE and this is minus VEE. Therefore, the drop across RE is, so VEE minus VBE. Therefore, 2IE RE is equal to VEE minus VBE. Hence, the emitter current of each of these transistors is equal to VEE minus VBE, which is of the order of 0.7 volts in the case of a silicon transistor, divided by 2RE. So, this is the emitter current that flows into the circuit, and naturally IC is equal to beta by 1 plus beta times IE. Equation 1 gives you IE, and from equation 2 you can determine IC. And once IC is known, we can find out what is the VCE here. VCE is equal to VCC plus 0.7 because this is emitter is at minus VBE and this is at plus VCC. Therefore, VCC minus plus VBE minus IC into RC. So, that is the VCE. Therefore, VCE is equal to VCC plus VBE minus IC into RC. The same VCE is applicable at both the transistors. So, this is equation 3. From these 3 equations, we can determine the quiescent point. We can determine IC and VCE. So, given RC, RE, VCC and VE. So, we can determine the quiescent point by analyzing the circuit. Similarly, given the quiescent point, we can design the circuit, that means find out RC and RE given the supply voltages and the quiescent point, or we can also select the supply voltages and determine the RC and RE. This is what the DC circuit analysis is, so which gives us the operating point of the transistors. So, we typically operate we operate the transistors in the active region so that it amplifies the input signals. As an example, if you use 9 volts supply here and then minus 9 volts supply here and a 3.3 K RE and 3.9 K RC, you can determine the collector point potential as 4.1 volts and VCE as 4.1 plus 0.7, 4.7 volts. And you can determine IC as 2.5 milliamperes. Considering beta as much greater than 1. Now, let us see how this amplifier works as a differential amplifier. Now, please note that these 2 amplifiers are connected at the emitter in this fashion, and let us see that some small positive voltage is applied here and an equivalent amount of negative voltage is applied here. Why are we considering this kind of input? To see that the common mode signal is 0. So, we consider a small positive voltage here and small negative voltage here. Then because of a small positive voltage here, there is an increment in the base current and there is an increased collector current, and as a result of which, so this potential drops. Therefore, for a voltage applied here, at this point you will get, with negative gain, you will get some output over here. Similarly, for a signal applied here, so you will get a large output with opposite sign here. Now, since these 2 emitters are connected, if you try to increase, when you apply a positive signal here, the base current tries to increase, and as a result emitter current increases. And if the emitter current increases, then the increased emitter current decreases the emitter current on this side, because when this potential rises by say 10 millivolts, so this VBE is increased by 10 millivolts. And what about this? So this VBE decreases because of the characteristics. When this base potential is increased, naturally the emitter potential also increases if the difference has to be maintained at 0.7 volts. And as a result of which, so this potential decreases, and or an increased emitter current here decreases this emitter current on this side. When the emitter current decreases on this side, so there is a rise in the potential at the collector. Therefore, for a positive signal applied here, you will get a positive signal here and a negative signal here. So if you tap this as the output and apply a signal here, you will get a positive amplification, you will get a positive gain. On the other hand, with this as the input and this as the output, you will have negative gain, as we have discussed in the common emitter amplifier earlier. Since for a voltage that is applied here, at this terminal it has a positive gain, and at this terminal it is a negative gain. Similarly, for a signal applied here, this has a negative gain, and at this point you have a positive gain. It works like a differential amplifier. You take, for instance, you take a single output. So between this output and this input, there is a positive gain, and between this input and this output, there is a negative gain. Hence, this output is a gain multiplied by this voltage plus an equivalent negative gain multiplied by this voltage, or the output is equal to that gain multiplied by this voltage minus this voltage. Hence, this amplifier works like a differential amplifier. So the action of differential amplification is coming because both the emitters are connected together. So a tendency to increase IE here has a tendency to decrease the IE there, and because of which you have positive gain across these two terminals and negative gain across these two terminals, and that is the key for differential amplification. Now, what about common mode gain? If you rise the voltage here and here also by the same quantity, the differential signal is 0, whereas there is some common mode signal. Now, when you rise, when you have some same signal here, and if say that is positive and that is also positive here, the base potential at both the points rise, because of which the emitter potential also rises. And when the emitter potential rises, do you expect any change in the emitter current? Well, there will be some change in the emitter current because this potential changes, and that change depends on this RE. If RE is very large, the change in the emitter current due to common mode signals is negligibly small, and when the change in emitter current is negligibly small, the change in the output potential is also small. Hence, you will get low common mode gain. And we shall analyze the circuit for common mode gain and differential mode gain in the next class.